Hey there, we're here with Ken Davenport from Davenport Theatricals, one of my favorite producers and producing organizations. Ken doesn't need me to introduce himself because he's such a great introducer of who he is. So Ken, why don't you take the floor and tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Well, my name is Ken Davenport. I am a Broadway producer. I am coming to you live from New York City. You can probably hear the sirens and the screams of Broadway audiences around me. I produce and develop shows primarily. That's what I do. It's what I have done for the past 20 years or so. I started as a manager in the theater, working my way up, and then for the past dozen or so years I've been creating and producing shows.
Yeah. But you also have a particular bent towards not just traditional shows, but new shows. Yes, is that correct?
Yeah, what I'm looking for, I mean, what I've tried to do, my whole philosophy is, since I was a little kid, in addition to being a theater lover and having a strong artistic side of my brain, I was always a business guy too. I had a candy shop in my father's cardiologist office, so I was selling chocolate bars to heart patients.
Did you literally have a candy?
I sold everything door to door that you could name. So I was always a business guy. So I think my strength and what I look for in shows and ideas that come out of my head are shows that I think will entertain people that, you know, this is something I really want to see, but at the same time, that has a large audience that will work commercially as well. So I try very hard to try to bridge the art and the commerce world, and it's something. What works most in those cases are things that are very unique and different and special. Broadway is the most cluttered environment on the planet, it feels like to me. And what stands out, what sells, what gets audiences, and yes, what even wins Tony Awards and gets critical reception as well, are things that are very unique and special. I'll throw a couple examples at you, like, I don't know, that musical no one's ever heard of called Hamilton.
I'm gonna write that down.
Yes, it's a brilliant piece of theater, but it's also unbelievably unique. How many people have said coming out of that theater, I've never seen anything like that on Broadway before, right? They said the same thing about Avenue Q. They said the same thing about Chorus Line. They said the same thing about Showboat. Like, things, giant musicals and historical moments in our history that were great pieces of theater, but also just so different and special they stood out on their own. Yeah. That's what I love.
So how do you recognize that in its infancy, when it's a first draft, or even earlier than that, or do you scout out scripts and properties when they're that young? When do you start looking at stuff?
Yeah, we not only scout out stuff when they're that young, but a lot of the ideas or shows that I produce have come out of my head, you know, so I look for things that are unique, or what I do as a producer is look for ways that I can make it, and things that we can do to make it different and special. Example, Godspell. I produced the revival of Godspell, and based on what I just said, you would think, oh, why is he doing revivals? Well, I've done a few of them. But let's just look at them for a second. Godspell. We did it in the round, number one. We did it with the band in the house, number two. Literally the musicians were amongst the audience, right? Number three, I crowdfunded it. It was the first ever crowdfunded Broadway musical. So all of a sudden we can layer a different thing, right, that have never been done before on Broadway. I produced the one-man revival of Macbeth on Broadway starring Alan Cumming. Very different and very special. I produced a revival of Spring Awakening with my Deaf West there in Southern California, because that was so unique and so special. And I'm doing Once in This Island this year on Broadway. And believe me, when you and your audience sees Once in This Island, they will realize that this is not your typical Once in This Island. We're going to do something with it that Broadway has never seen before. So it's trying not only to look for pieces that are unique and special, but ways that I, as a producer, can make them special.
So I'm going to ask a question on behalf of our viewers and our composers and lyricists that are working on musicals that are spying in, going, I've got a unique, and well, how do they convince you that what they have is unique and is worth your your time and question? How do folks approach you?
Well, they approach me a number of ways. I mean, first of all, we're very proud to have one of the few open submission policies of all Broadway producers. You go on to theproducersperspective.com right now, you will see a button that says submit a script.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take it. We'll take it. It'll go in the queue. It's a long queue, so don't think you're going to get me to respond tomorrow being like, hey, I stayed up all night reading your script. There are a lot of people on this, but we eventually get to them all. And we look at them, and you'll get a little note back saying, here's what we thought, or here's why it is for us, or it isn't for us. Or, look, sometimes people think that a rejection means that we don't think your show is any good. That's not true. It just means that I'm not the right person to produce it.
Yeah.
So that's certainly one way that people get to me. I get referrals all the time, other writers, producers, agents, etc. So not only for me, but my advice to everybody out there is you have to think about selling your script just like you're selling any product, whether it's a baseball, whether it's Coca-Cola soft drinks, whether it's a shirt, right? The advertising agencies for all of those products will try to reach you in many different ways. Television advertising, billboard, direct mail, magazine, press and publicity. All writers have to think of themselves in the same way. I'm going to get to Ken or other Broadway producers via direct mail. I'm going to send it to him. Email, I'm going to email him. Word of mouth, I'm going to try to get someone to recommend it. Like, I'm going to go all out. You know, a lot of people, I think, just say, oh, I'm submitting a script. One impression. If you go advertising, it takes 5 to 8 for someone to even pay attention to you.
Right.
So it often, this is the other big mistake that people make, is that, oh, I'm going to send an email. Just like an advertiser, Coca-Cola, saying I'm going to place one magazine ad. Well, what happens if the person flips by the magazine ad? And what happens if the email goes to spam, gets caught in trash, someone skips it? That's why you have to go at these things multiple ways, especially if you really think that producer is the right one for you.
Yeah, that's great.
The one thing I will also say is all that, the best way to get my attention, the best way to get anybody's attention, get it up somehow. I consider myself a pretty imaginative guy, but nothing replaces actually us seeing it or someone I know seeing it or a rep seeing it. Try to get it up in some shape or fashion.
And does that mean get it up in New York? Does that mean what if I'm in Detroit or Des Moines or some other D city? How putting it up? Let's say so I did a reading in Detroit. What do I do with that?
The closer it is to me, the more likely that I will get there. I mean, there's just a higher percentage chance of that happening. But if you can't get here, there are all sorts of ways to get people's attention, including YouTube, including music. Like, you just have to do whatever you're capable of doing. Yes, getting here to New York is number one. If you can't get here to New York, what else can you do? You know, the authors of Dear Evan Hansen will tell you they were discovered on YouTube.
Right.
They couldn't get there.
And so now I'm in Des Moines, and I go, okay, all right, I'm gonna do a reading or something in New York. What should that something be? How big? How polished? What would that look like?
Well, what you have to do is match where you are with the material. But what I found is a lot of people say, oh, I just finished my draft, I want to do a reading of it. Great, and they say how much your readings cost. And I said, well, what kind of reading are you looking to do? Well, and we've had some very well-heeled people come to us and say, I want the best of the best. And I have to tell them, like, well, that would be New 42nd Street Studios, which is, you'll be doing your reading while the crop of next Broadway musicals are rehearsing all around you, right? Do you really want to forecast the message that that's the level where you are right now? You just finished your script. Because sometimes I go very strategically, even with my own shows. When we develop a show and I'm ready to read it for the first time, I purposefully won't put it in the best rehearsal studio in town. I will put it down somewhere where it feels a little more emerging. Right? So it really depends on where the show is in its life cycle.
Smart. while we're on that subject of giving advice to writers, maybe what would your advice artistically, creatively be to them? You know, should they respond to Hamilton and write the next Hamilton? Should they ignore that? What's your advice there?
It's a great question, especially when you think about Hamilton, because people think, oh my gosh, it's so unique, it's hip hop, and it's all those things. Except it was also Lin-Manuel's language. He grew up on hip hop. He loved hip hop. I mean, this was his world. So I've heard a few writers be like, oh, I'm going to work on a hip hop thing. And I'd be like, that's so inauthentic. It's going to suck. Like, that's not what creates great theater. Like, it may create mediocre movies. Like, Hollywood can do the rip-off thing, because frankly, they can throw a star in it and sell it for a certain level of success. It's why sequels work in Hollywood, but they never work on in musicals. Or they haven't as of yet. So what I tell people is you have to write what you love and what you're interested in. That's what he was doing. Lin-Manuel, who is a historian about musical theater, right? He'd say, Chorus Line was a big hit. I'm going to write something similar to a Chorus Line. Wrote what was real to him.
I think that's good advice. And so where do you? This is also a loaded question. Where do you think musicals are headed in the next 5, 10, and 20 years? We've had a couple sea changes of, this season is different in New York from 2 seasons ago. Where are we headed?
The Natasha Pierre immersive concept, which was birthed really 20 years ago with interactive shows, including mine, the Awesome 80s Prom, that slowly, these interactive, fun, novelty shows turned a corner with the Sleep No Mores and the Then She Fells, and all of a sudden became extremely artistic and immersive. And now we're seeing it creep into Broadway, right? Natasha Pierre reconfigures the theater, which also, by the way, how Prince did with Candide years ago at the Broadway. But you're going to see more and more of this. You're going to see more and more environmental ideas in traditional settings. And that's, I think, where Broadway will be going. Theater will be going.
What about, I know you're also pushing the internet envelope and live streaming and so on. Can you talk a little bit about Daddy Longlegs and other impulses in that arena, and the relationship where you think we're headed of theater and streaming and so on?
I think streaming and the digital distribution of our product will absolutely increase over the next 10 years. We saw with Daddy Longlegs, we streamed, it's now available on Broadway HD. You can watch it wherever you are in the world. We were the first show to ever live stream from New York. We're very proud of that. 150,000 people tune in 135 countries around the world. There's appetite. That's why I did it. We spent money. We didn't charge anyone a dime. I used it as a case study for our entire industry to say, guys, there's appetite here. We even surveyed our audience afterwards. 90-something% said they wanted it again, and 90-something% said they'd pay for it. Get it? Will it, the biggest fear is people say, will it replace the theater? No, it won't. And if anything, all that it does is help market the theater. The story I say all the time to people that are afraid of it is when I was a kid and grew up in Massachusetts and saw my first Red Sox game on television, and my dad was describing, oh, that's Fenway Park, and look, there's the green monster in the background. See that guy? There's selling Cracker Jack. All that I wanted to do is be in that building.
Right, as opposed to stay at home and watch another game on TV. It's like I want to go.
One day you'll go there, you'll see it, you'll smell the Cracker Jack, and it will be a different experience, and special and rare, and I'll get all excited for it.
So here's your new motto: Davenport Theatricals. Smell the Cracker Jack.
That's right.
You can have that. So,
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's the first one's free. After that, I'll charge $1 per motto. Aside from a marketing standpoint, do you think that's ultimately a business model? Talk a little bit about what the effects unions have on that, and you know, jurisdiction about film actors and stage actors, as well as the Fathom events of the world playing it live in the theaters. Are they? There's
definitely a business model here. I mean, look, it's happening. Broadway HD has one. I don't know how profitable. I doubt they're profitable at this point. It feels different than Netflix and Broadway. But I think long term, absolutely. And I love the fact that they're in this game, like leading the way in the charge here and really investing in the like all these platforms have had to do, investing in content creation and gatherings to build a library. Right now, the challenge is that the unions don't quite understand, nor does anyone really understand, what the income potential is. And whenever we don't understand, the union's natural reaction is, and it has to be, I'm not knocking them for this, they're protecting their membership. So if there is no idea how much money something can make, job is to say that you got to pay us a really good chunk of money, because we have to be prepared, because we don't want our membership coming back to us and saying they're making millions of dollars and we did it for $50 in a subway metro card. Like, they can't have that. So right now it's a little challenging economically to do these things. It doesn't quite make economic sense. My hope is, as we gather and actually as we do things like Daddy Long Legs, which I was very happy to say to them, when we're done, I'm going to show you how much money we lost. So you can see that maybe there's a way that we can work this out for the future to allow more people to do this, so your folks have a way to make money long after, especially off Broadway, long after the shows are gone.
Are you plotting a next one? Are you plotting a next live stream? Or can you speak about it?
If I was, I couldn't tell you.
I hear that. You know, I can see that little. If you were planning it, I could see in that split second the answer is yes, and I can't tell you the title.
Yeah, but I will tell you, it needs to be very specific. I won't do this for every single one of my shows.
Right.
Like,
Well,
it's very specific.
and I also, you know, I know a lot of folks watch your blog and admire the way you market. So you know, take a clue from there. He's teasing already. He's like, yes, I'm going to do it, and you know, already there's a big mystery. Like, what is it? And I'm sure you've got a big reveal campaign all planned. And I have no intention of being your spoiler alert guy, but
I can't break it here. But it's still, look, maybe I'm planting some intrigue and some mystery, but I also am not quite sure it's all going to come together. And that's sometimes the best form of marketing there is the truth. But I'm sure I'll do it again. It just is, it needs to be the right alignment, the right show. Daddy Longlegs, when I hope everyone out there goes to see it, because it came across so beautifully. But one of the reasons it did is because it was in a small theater, which could be shot beautifully. You know, it only had 2 people in it. We could get really up close and personal with Megan Guinness. So, like, it played very well. Sometimes I think even better than big, splashy, 42nd Street might play, because the feeling of being in a room where all those girls tap dancing, it isn't the same on a screen in a wide shot as it is. Right. Scan up and down and all around.
Yeah, exactly. Well, before we started to roll cameras, I said I would give you an opportunity to pitch what it is that some of your services and some of the other things that you do. I'd be happy to give you the floor if you'd like to take the opportunity to say, here's how to give me money and here's what you get in return.
Well, I'll tell you, the thing that we're most excited about, and frankly it doesn't have anything to do with money. Yes, we charge for it, but partly because we're investing so much in it, is when I started doing what I do, which is write shows, produce shows, create shows, build relationships, find collaborators, understand how this stuff works so I can put it up, so I can attract other producers to see it. But when I was trying to do this in the 90s, there just wasn't any information out there. It just wasn't. So that's why I started blogging, which is, you could go on the blog and just read all the stuff that I write, or the podcast, why I talk, go, first of all, and there's no fee for any of that, so just go on there and drown yourself in all that information. It'll help. What we did for the people out there that really want to take it to the next level, super passionate folk that are also want to get really practical and figure out the steps, is I started a membership site, just like other sites out there. It's called the Producer's Perspective Pro. You can go check it out at theproducersperspectivepro.com. You get weekly tips from me, a newsletter sent to your home, a monthly webinar live with me on everything from selling tickets to social media to getting the rights to things. It's like 20, 30 hours of these webinar courses in the archives right now. We're doing a conference. We have monthly networking events. The sole goal of this whole cool little community now, it's really fantastic because I meet all these people all the time. The sole goal is to help people get their shows on a stage and faster. That's it. Anything that we can do, we're trying to add as many resources as we can to this community to help you get your show on a stage faster. And again, I'm super excited about it because it's actually working. Like, people are saying to me, like, hey, my show is going. We've had several shows go to off-Broadway now. It's great. So I advise all your folks to go check it out, the producersperspectivepro.com.
Excellent, well done. Forgive me, I haven't followed what you were going to put together a collaborators, an online writers and composers. I haven't followed up to see how that's doing. How's you launched that a year ago? When did you launch that?
Yeah, we have two versions of it. We have a director database, because a lot of the stuff that I create, even the podcast or blogs, they come from my readers, and a lot of my readers are writers, just like all your folks, and they say, hey, I need this. So we started to build stuff for them. One of the things people said to us all the time was, I'm looking for a director, I'm looking for a director, I'm looking for a director. The other thing a lot of writers said is, like, Ken, I sit in my house in Des Moines, I'm a composer, I need a lyricist, I need a lyricist, I need a lyricist. Please help me get to the next stage. Again, I go to my mission. How can I help this person get their show up and faster? So what we did was we created a director database filled with like 50 plus directors who are looking for stuff to do. And not necessarily, they're not necessarily looking to get paid. They're just looking to work on stuff, right? That's what I love about this community, it's just so passionate. And then we created a writer database as well for people looking for collaborators. Both of those databases live inside the Producer's Perspective Pro. We needed to put the deal with all the directors and the writers, that we were like, we're putting up your personal contact information. We did not want to do that just openly on the web, as I'm sure everyone can understand. So we gated it. And also, so the people that were reaching out to them were really committed and invested in taking their show to the next level, and it wasn't going to be a bunch of flakes. Right. That's the thing about the pro community. I will tell you right now, if you're a flake, if you don't want to really work at getting your show to the next level, do not join it. Do not. This is really a group of people who are really committed to getting stuff done as quickly as they can.
Excellent. Excellent. I have just one last question. We're sort of asking many of the people that we're interviewing for this whole weekend festival, which we're live streaming, by the way, starting on the Friday. We're gonna do 2.5 days of constant programming, technology willing. So, but if you had $100 million drop in your lap tomorrow morning, earmarked for developing new musicals, how would you spend that? Sorry, I should say, when you have $100 million drop in your lap, how will you spend it? How will you spend that?
Well, if I had $100 million, I'm going to give you two answers because that's what I do. So if I had $100 million drop in my lap today, I would build a new Broadway theater tomorrow. Look, they're certainly together. I'm trying to give more access to have more shows produced, right? I want your clients up, my show, like everyone, I want their shows up and fast. Right now, there's a bottleneck on Broadway. It feels like JFK on a Friday evening, right? There's just 20 planes in the air trying to land, like no one can land. So I would give all of us another big Broadway theater. The other thing I would do is, look, I hear it all the time from folks out there. They want more time to write. They want more time to write. Certainly, we've done this in the past. Is we've done, I actually don't know that I would just say to writers, here's 10 grand, go write. What I would do is a lot of contests and scholarships based on submit your stuff. Send me a new musical, totally immersive. Send me something with a musical style I've never heard of before. What I like is to get people working. And then what I would do is give 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000 on completion of all that stuff.
Excellent.
I am a big fan of competition and getting people to work hard and really try to win something and with a deadline, a huge deadline guy.
Excellent. Well, you are an inspiration, at least to me, and I assume I speak for many, 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 many people. You're really a leader in the producing community and specifically to our neck of the woods, musical theater producing. So I thank you not only for what you do, but who you are, and for the time that you gave to us. Really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. I really love that what you guys are doing out there. So keep up the good fight.
Excellent. Will do. Thanks, sir.